Good morning. This is Chloe Dawn sitting in with Giovanni Gallucci and Rachel Donovan, and this is the Daily Trend Report.
Morning, Chloe. You sound like you've already been up an hour.
I have. Walked over to that little place on Knox before they unlocked the door. The barista just stared at me through the glass.
Morning, both of you. I made coffee at home. The drive-in from Fort Worth was quiet enough I could hear the Datsun thinking about second gear.
How's the car running, Rachel?
It runs like a 1971 Datsun, which is to say, it runs when it wants to, and you don't argue.
That feels like a personality test.
It is one. 3 weeks ago, I was driving Highway 80 with the windows down and a thermos that had gone cold, and the car decided to overheat about a mile past Mineola. I sat on the shoulder for 40 minutes. It was the best afternoon I've had this year.
That is the most West Texas sentence anyone's said on this show.
Speaking of cold coffee, I had iced matcha for breakfast, and I'm already regretting the choices that led me here.
3 sections today. First, clean label food and beverage. Chloe's got a Topo Chico story that's about to become every brand's morality play. Second, outdoor lifestyle. Memorial Day weekend is here, the parks are on fire in the bad way, and 4 big brands just merged their tailgates. And third, content, social, and AI. Instagram drew a line in the sand on what counts as a real post, and one of my ex accounts got hauled off in handcuffs yesterday. We'll get to that.
Let's go. All right, Topo Chico. Coca-Cola FEMSA paused glass bottle production because the well in Monterey hit quality issues, and they're saying we won't see real supply back until July, with shelves staying weird through late fall.
The well actually went bad?
Their words. Source well quality issues, heritage natural brand, defined a whole category, can't keep the well running.
I went into the grocery store in Decatur on Saturday, and the Topo Chico shelf had a sign that said, "Ask staff." There was no staff to ask.
That's the moment. That's the shelf opening. Every craft sparkling mineral water brand in Texas should be on the phone with their distributor this week. Not next month, this week.
Who's on the bench in that category?
Texas grown, Southwest provenance, glass bottle if you can swing it, real minerality. You don't need to be the new Topo Chico. You need to be the bottle that sits where Topo Chico used to sit for 90 days.
The ranch water people are going to revolt.
They already have. Texas Monthly ran a piece on substitutes. The bartenders are improvising. The bartenders are the influencers in this category. Get them samples.
Okay, second story. Prebiotic soda. Pepsi paid roughly $2 billion for Poppy. Coke shipped Simply Pop. Pepsi's own prebiotic cola is on shelf. Olipop's valued around $2 billion.
That category went from $33 million in sales 3 years ago to $777 million last January, and crossed $1 billion last year.
What does Big Soda actually buy when they pay $2 billion for Poppy?
They buy a moat against the small operators. That's it. The white space is closed. Now it's a regulated, lawyered distribution fight category. Olipop and Poppy both caught class actions over digestive claims. The party's over.
So what do you tell a small, independent, functional brand this morning?
2 options. Pick a specific function and own it. Mood, focus, gut, hydration. Don't be a generic better-for-you brand because PepsiCo's distribution truck will run you over. Or move adjacent. Tepache, water kefir, low-sugar kombucha. Fermented stuff Big Soda can't fake without rebuilding the supply chain.
The Pepsi distribution truck is a real truck.
It is a very real truck.
Third one, and this is the marketing layup of the decade, and most brands are about to whiff it. FDA's phasing out synthetic dyes by end of 2026. PepsiCo's reformulating Tostitos and Lay's. Mars pulled titanium dioxide out of Skittles. Kraft Heinz and General Mills both committed. Walmart's private label by January 2027.
Yep. And here's the layup. If your brand was already naturally colored, you've been quiet about it for 10 years because it was somebody else's problem. It's your story now, in the good way. And you have about 150 days to claim the lane before every CPG packaging refresh catches up in Q4.
What does claiming the lane actually look like?
Front of pack, beet juice color, turmeric, spirulina. Name the ingredient that gives you the color. Not natural colors, which sounds like a press release. Made with beets sounds like food.
And don't make it political.
Don't make it political. The brands that win this frame it as "we always cared." The brands that lose sound like a Kennedy press release. Lead with sourcing. Lead with the back of the box. Stay out of the partisan stuff.
What's the seed oil piece of this?
Same wave. There's a seed oil-free certified seal expanding in frozen and pantry. Saffron Road and Everybody Eat got certified early. Lab tested, third-party verified. If your formulation already avoids canola, soy, and corn oil, get certified now. The Shelf Talker write-up is worth more than the badge fee.
Last big one in the food section. Malk and the coconut cult dropped a vanilla malk shake. Plant milk, fermented coconut, live probiotics, short ingredient list, tastes like a vanilla shake.
This is the moment Clean Label grew up. For 10 years, the category competed on subtraction. Who could strip the most stuff out? The shelf got a little joyless. Two minimalist brands just shipped a milkshake. A milkshake with probiotics. That's pleasure with integrity, not utility with a halo.
Indulgence is the next Clean Label battleground.
Yes. And the small brand can no longer win on subtraction alone because the mass market has caught up on ingredient stripping. The small brand wins on delight, craft, story, and the willingness to make something that's actually fun.
Fibermaxing crossed into NPR last week.
It crossed into NPR, Mayo Clinic, Healthline, and Fast Company in the same 7 days. That's mainstream. Fiber's having its protein moment, mostly because the GLP-1 audience needs satiety and gut benefits without volume.
What's the brand move there?
Name your fiber. Chia, psyllium, citrus fiber, resistant starch. The same way protein brands started calling out whey isolate versus pea, fiber brands need to call out the source. High in fiber is a 2018 claim. 6 grams of citrus fiber per serving is a 2026 claim.
One more before takeaways. Beef tallow and ancestral eating. Whole Foods reported 96% growth on the ancestral shelf. Tallow searches hit 1.9 million a month on Google.
My cousin in Lubbock started rendering tallow in her kitchen 6 months ago. She's the least crunchy person I know.
That's the signal. When your normal cousin starts rendering tallow, the category isn't fringe anymore. Fried in seed oil went from neutral to a negative trust signal on the same shelf where fried in tallow is now a premium claim. Better-for-you snack and condiment brands need to look at their fat source story this quarter.
Okay, here's what to actually do with all of that. 1. If you make Texas-grown mineral water or craft sparkling, hit your distributor today, not next week, and offer the bartenders samples by the case before Topo Chico comes back in July.
2. If your formulation already skips synthetic dyes, move the claim to front of pack this quarter and name the actual ingredient. Beets, not natural colors. You've got about 150 days before the big brand's packaging refresh catches up.
3. Audit your fat source story this month. If you're using canola or soy oil and your shelf neighbors are using tallow or avocado, you're losing the trust signal before the customer even reads the label. Memorial Day weekend. AAA is projecting 45 million Americans traveling 50 miles or more. Biggest Memorial Day on record. Yellowstone just posted its busiest May ever. 566,000 visits. Yosemite, Arches, and Glacier let their vehicle reservation systems lapse this year, and the result is bumper to bumper, trash overflowing, restrooms locked.
National Park Service has lost about a quarter of its permanent staff.
Right. Demand at an all-time high. Infrastructure brittle. That's the summer. Grand Canyon is still rebuilding from the Dragon Bravo fire. North Cascades is in crisis mode.
So the iconic 5-park trip is broken.
It's broken, and the brand opportunity is honesty about it. There's a real lane for any outdoor brand willing to say out loud that you should skip the line. Promote the shoulder season. Promote BLM land. Promote state parks. Promote the Wind Rivers, the Sawtooths, Big Bend, the lesser-known units. Specificity beats the bucket list right now.
Anyone running Go to Yellowstone this summer creative is aging badly in real time.
In real time. and the buyers are voting with their RVs. Reservations got canceled, so the overflow is going into dispersed camping on BLM and Forest Service land. That changes what gear sells this summer. Portable power, water filtration, solar, satellite comms, off-grid ready, not hookup dependent.
The word glamping is dying, right?
It's dying. Off-grid ready is the new positioning. Brands still selling luxury at a powered campsite are aiming at last year's customer.
Okay, big story too. Osprey, Helinox, Hydro Flask, and OXO dropped the Camp Core collection over Memorial Day weekend. 4 brands, 1 coordinated launch. Coolers, organizers, duffels, chairs, tables, cookware, a coffee setup. All designed to load into a rig, unload at camp, and work together.
That's the most interesting outdoor industry move of 2026 so far, and it's not close. 4 major names sat in a room, agreed on a use case, and built around it together. The use case is the rig owner, not the thru hiker.
So the center of outdoor gravity just moved on the record.
Officially. For a decade, product design assumed every gram mattered, and the customer was willing to suffer for the privilege of going farther on foot. That customer still exists. They are no longer the customer who's actually buying.
Who's the customer who's buying?
Someone who drives a Tacoma or a 4Runner or a Frontier to a state park, opens the back, and sets up a base camp that has to come back down and go back into the truck 3 days later. Willing to pay more, carry less on their back, and pay for organization and design.
What does that mean for a brand that's still selling ultralight?
You either pivot or you specialize narrowly. Pull every hero shot of a 40-liter pack on a switchback. Replace half of them with the tailgate. Awning out. Gear on a tarp. 2 chairs and a kitchen setup. That's the 2026 hero shot. Most brands haven't updated their website yet.
Connected to that, Overland Expo West and Overland Expo SoCal both led their coverage with weight reduction. iCamper shipped a mid-size tent for crossovers. Scout's Hero Camper hit the floor at 1,072 pounds with no wood core. The maxed-out $40,000 build is losing oxygen to lightweight modular systems that respect payload.
Maximalist rig culture is over. Payload conscious is the new flex. The aspirational object is now a 1996 Tacoma with a roof box and a kettle, not a 1-ton diesel with a chassis sagging past spec.
Are we talking about overlanding or food packaging because the lessons feel identical?
They are identical. Less is more, but specific less. Modular less. Honest less. The whole consumer economy is rejecting maximalism right now and rewarding restraint. Same shelf, different aisles.
Third story, tariffs. Black Diamond announced 10 to 25% price hikes starting May 5th. Outdoor Industry Association says 84% of its members are affected. About 60% of U.S. outdoor gear is produced overseas, more than half from China.
And here's the marketing window. For 10 years, Made in USA was a hidden sticker. Brands sewing in the States paid a quiet cost penalty. The tariff cycle just closed the cost gap. The penalty is gone. The story is now the most valuable copy on the package.
What's the lazy version of this?
Slapping a flag on the homepage. Don't do that. Consumers smell it.
What's the real version?
Specificity. Name the town. Name the line lead. Walk a photographer into the factory and run the photo series from May through August. Pitch the local newspaper. Let them write a feature on the line workers. Specificity is the asset. Most brands won't do it. That's where the opportunity sits.
The factory floor as content channel.
The factory floor as content channel. It's been sitting right there.
Yeti pulled that 5.8.26 tease with the logo change, walked it back. Marketing head confirmed no rebrand.
Whether they meant to or not, Yeti showed the rest of the industry how to provoke a brand identity conversation without breaking the brand. Legacy outdoor companies are usually allergic to that kind of move. Yeti baited the community into a week of speculation, and the badge came out stronger.
The conversation about the brand was the brand.
Exactly. Stop running brand identity work in private. The community wants to be in on the conversation. Half the brands that need to refresh are afraid to say so out loud.
Quick one before takeaways. Public lands access. Secretarial Order 3447 in January opened BLM and Bureau of Reclamation lands to hunting and fishing by default, open unless closed. 60-day reviews are landing now.
Hunting and fishing brands should be mapping their assortment against newly opened units and running geo-targeted creative tied to specific places. State fish and game agencies want partner content. The door's open, walk through it.
3 things from this section.
1. If your summer creative still hero shots Yellowstone or Yosemite, swap it this week for a state park, a BLM unit, or a shoulder season shot. Name the place. Specificity is the new aspiration.
2. If you make outdoor gear in the United States, put a photographer in the factory in the next 30 days and run that photo arc through August. Move the Made in USA story to front of product page, not the spec tab.
3. If your hero brand image is a backpacker on a switchback, replace at least half with a tailgate scene. Awning out, 2 chairs, coffee, the center of outdoor gravity moved to the rig owner. Your photo library hasn't caught up. Adam Mosseri put it on the record. DM sends are now the strongest signal Instagram has for reach. Not likes, not comments, the little paper airplane.
1 DM share is weighted roughly equal to 15 likes in the 2026 distribution model.
That's a real number.
It is, and it lines up with the carousel data. Instagram carousels averaging 1.92% engagement in 2026 against 0.5% for Reels and 45 hundredths for static. Mosseri confirmed carousels get 1.4 times more reach than single images.
The whole math changed. Likes are a reflex. Sends are a decision. Someone has to think your content is worth occupying space in a one-to-one relationship with a friend.
Most brand calendars are still built for the reflex.
They are. The audit question I'd ask every operator listening right now, look at your last 5 posts. Would you send any of them to a friend? If the honest answer is no, you have your next quarter's content brief.
And there are about 4 patterns that trigger a DM send. 1. Content that gives a friend permission to do something they were already thinking about. 2. Content that names a private experience 2 people share. 3. Content that gives one specific kind of person information they need right now. 4. Content that says the thing everyone's thinking but no brand will print.
The 4th one is where most brands flinch.
That's where the engagement lives.
Second pattern, Polish penalty. ManyChat's 2026 algorithm fatigue report and the Sprout Social Q1 Pulse both landed on the same thing. Audiences want less polished content from brands. The YAP format, selfie, no script, one text hook pinned to frame, auto captions, is clearing 800,000 views on accounts that used to celebrate 40,000 on their produced cuts.
What's the mechanism?
Polish reads as advertising. Advertising reads as low trust. Low trust gets dampened by the ranking model. Audience signal and algorithm signal are pointing the same direction for the first time in maybe 2 years.
So the cheapest performance lift available on organic social right now is putting the phone in the founder's hand for 15 minutes a week.
That's it. No script, no teleprompter, no producer. One prompt question, one text hook overlay. Ship 3 of those a week.
I have a friend who runs a small saddle shop in Granbury. She started recording herself rebuilding a saddle on her lunch break. No edit, phone on the coffee can. Her reels were averaging 1,000 views. She's at 40,000 now.
On the same phone she had 3 months ago.
Same phone. The agency budget she was about to spend got spent on leather.
Third one, Instagram drew a hard line in the sand on what counts as a real post. May 4, they started testing the AI creator profile label. Account level. Shows up in the bio and next to every post for accounts that lean on AI-generated content. May 13, they launched Instance. 1 view, 24 hours, no edits, no uploads. In-app camera capture only. And around the same time, the platform is dampening the reach of reposted content.
Read those 3 signals together and it's a real playbook. Show up. Make it yourself. Stop recycling.
Instance in particular is interesting because it's a constraint, not a tool.
That's exactly right. They're not adding a creator feature, they're adding a creative restriction. The only way to use Instance is to actually be somewhere with your phone and take the picture.
What's the brand cost on that?
The standard playbook for the last 5 years has been one polished asset, resized and reposted across every platform. That engine is now actively penalized on Instagram. Not deprioritized, penalized. Cost went up, return went down.
And the AI label is account level, which means heavy AI use on one account drags down everything that account posts.
Right, so your AI exposure decision just became a brand positioning decision. Decide whether the public label aligns with your brand before Meta makes the decision for you.
And while we're on platform reality, Threads just passed X in mobile daily active users. 141 million to 125 million.
Speaking of X, yesterday, 2 of my personal brand accounts on that platform got suspended on the same day. Marfa Munchies, my food and beverage personal brand, suspended in the morning. Appeal sitting there with no response. Marfa Mavericks, the outdoor crew personal brand, suspended in the afternoon. Appeal filed. Account restored in 45 minutes.
Same operator, same day, 2 totally different outcomes.
2 totally different outcomes. Nothing on either account that was remotely policy violating, just the coin flip.
So what's the operator lesson?
The lesson is the one I've been saying for 2 years, and now I'm living it twice in the same morning. Don't build on a platform you can't afford to lose for 30 days. X moderation is opaque, inconsistent, and the appeals process is a coin flip, even when there's nothing on the account. If your whole funnel runs through one platform, you're one suspension away from rebuilding from zero.
So where does the audience actually go?
Owned channels first, email list, SMS list, a community space you control, even if it's small, then a posting cadence across 3 or 4 platforms instead of one. Treat every platform like a renter, not an owner, because that's what you are.
And LinkedIn is having a real moment, by the way.
It is. Document carousels at 6.6% engagement, highest of any LinkedIn format. Founder-led profiles outperforming company pages 5 to 10 times in reach. Strategist-led brands have a clearer path to organic distribution on LinkedIn than at any point in the last 2 years. And most brands are still posting from the company page.
So one of the 3 or 4 platforms is probably LinkedIn.
For a lot of operators, yeah. Move the company page to support. Build the posting engine around 3 or 4 visible humans inside the business.
Okay, takeaways.
3 quick ones to close. 1. Before you publish anything this week, run the DM test. Look at the post and ask, would I send this to one specific friend with one specific reason? If the answer is no, hold it. Rewrite it.
2. Lock a 15-minute weekly slot with your founder or category lead. Phone only, no script, 1 prompt question. Ship the take without an edit pass. That's your yap cadence. Do it for 30 days and measure.
3. Audit your platform risk this week. If your whole funnel runs through one channel, build out one alternative in the next 30 days. Email list, SMS, a second platform you can actually post on without panicking. Treat every platform like a renter.
If any of that sounded like the kind of pipeline you'd like to build, but you're not sure where to start, that's what gallucci does. I build AI-assisted content engines for clean label food and beverage brands and outdoor lifestyle brands. The thing you just listened to came out of one of those pipelines. Show notes drafted, transcript published, episode rendered with 3 voices, all from a single morning trend digest, all running on AI tools that I trained on your brand voice instead of mine.
He really does pull it off.
The brands I work with usually walk in with a content team that's tired and a calendar that's empty by Wednesday. We rebuild the engine, daily research, weekly long form, a library of native short form your founder can ship from their phone. The team gets their evenings back. The calendar stops being a guilt machine.
And he answers his own DMs.
I answer my own DMs. If you want to talk about it, gallucci.net or DM at gallucci.net on Instagram or LinkedIn. Talk tomorrow.
Bye, y'all.
Drive careful out there.